Welcome back to Speed Sport Magazine and our visit with Jessica Zemken, who hails from Sprakers, New York, which is about 90 miles east of Syracuse. Raised in racing, her father is a veteran of almost 30 years in the sport. Now, I understand you've been working on your marketing degree.
Yes, I have been doing that online. It's kind of a little bit of a slow process. The racing kind of gets in the way a little bit of that. I do try to keep up on that as far as helping out with my racing and sponsors, and it has done some positives for me and to help me kind of proceed a little bit further in my racing career with some sponsors and some people behind me supporting it.
Obviously, coming up in a racing family, you must have spent some time in the garage with Dad.
Yes, I grew up in the garage, greasy, dirty, all the time, working on cars and go-karts and whatever I could.
So you're somebody who can actually spin the wrenches as well as drive the car.
I can do everything I need to do. I can build my sprint cars, I can do all the motor maintenance, check the valves. I learned the hard way that I better figure it out on my own so I didn't have to depend on anybody else. And
has that helped you earn respect and credibility in the pit area, as opposed to just being, a lady racer coming in who says she can drive? You can actually work on the cars as well?
I would like to think so. I think that's really how I gained the respect from my main sponsor, Corpac Merchandising. He had seen me at an outlaw show, and it was just my mom and I actually at the track, and I probably had no business being there, but I was under the car, changing the gears and doing everything, and my mom was putting fuel in the car. And I guess it's not really a sight that you normally see at the dirt track. It's mostly a male-dominated sport, but I definitely learned to, if I wanted to progress in my racing career, that I was going to have to learn how to do things on my own and how to take care of it myself.
We've seen so many ladies come up through the ranks of racing, going back to Shirley Muldowney, even before that, and our own Erin Evernham and Danica now, and so forth and so on. Have the challenges of women in racing changed, do you think, since those ladies before you, or are you still dealing with the same issues?
I would like to hope so. Eventually, I hope that it would a lot more than it has. There's definitely some positives about being a female in the sport, but there's a lot of negatives, and there's a lot of people that want to put you down. But I think it helps us lady racers just be more positive and to work harder and to try harder to prove ourselves and to show that we're capable of doing it and that we're just as good as any male out there.
What kinds of things are you doing to open doors for girls behind you coming up?
There's a lot of local girls up in New York that race go-karts that are kind of coming up through the ranks. Actually, the guy I drive for up in Oswego Speedway, the 77X, Miles Hill, his daughter Alex is running a 600 micro. We're going down to Pennsylvania this weekend for the start of PA Speed Weeks, and she's going to run a 600 along with myself running a 410, and I'm going to be able to work with her at the track and help her out, and I think that's really cool to be able to help her progress in her career as I'm progressing with mine.
Obviously, you have to have a lot of desire to make this all happen, and there's certain hurdles you have to overcome by being a woman in racing these days. Where do you get that drive?
I think the biggest drive comes from my family and them always being supportive, but always showing me that there are going to be negatives, there are going to be people that are negative, and pretty much just to work harder to prove them wrong and just kind of have a very determined attitude and just to roll on the track and know that have a positive attitude, and I'm there to win races, and I'm just as good as they are, and we have just as good of a chance, no matter whether it's my mom and I working on the car or I have an entire crew or a crew chief. I'm there to win races and just have a very determined attitude.
Do you want to break the news now about who won today?
We won't talk about that.
Oh. Okay, well, your secret's safe for now. I won. Up next, our family racing theme continues as the quest for the world land speed record is passed on from father to son. Danny Thompson, son of legend Mickey Thompson, has an unfinished legacy.
We did our first test yesterday out at El Mirage, and it went very well. We went 178 miles an hour in low gear at half throttle, so I think that was a good start. I believe that thing was so far advanced at the time that we can go back out there with the modifications we've done now and go out there and hopefully do well.
Race fans, whether you love dirt, asphalt, two wheels, or four, you need to be Speed Sport equipped with cool t-shirts, awesome caps, and great Speed Sport swag. You can get your limited edition merchandise now. Just go to nationalspeedsportnews.com, click on the store link, and start shopping. Throwback tees, shop racks, and everything you need to be ready for the races. That's nationalspeedsportnews.com. Click the store link.